Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Shipwrecks. I'm Ghost in the Hella.
I'm Velmax. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day. And
a long night.
yeah. And I was wrong. Both of our cats were sowing chaos. It was not just Little Bear. It was him and Gideon both sowing chaos.
What a pair.
Yeah.
Good.
The dynamic duo. Mm-hmm. So yeah, sorry for the late start. But cats. So, tonight we are going back into Life is Strange Aftermath, which, if you're not familiar, is a fan game for Life is Strange. Taking place post BAY, Bay. Which we do not normally... It's not normally our thing, but for this game we're making an exception.
Hey, Isaac.
Hey, Isaac. Good to see you. Good evening from the Albany, New York, USA area.
Woo.
Good evening. How's the weather in Albany?
Yeah.
It's been snowing here. Not today so much though, or rain.
No.
Anyway, yeah. So we played Chapter 1 when it came out, whenever that was. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Back in
It was last year sometime.
March, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the dates on our save files. But yeah, Chapter 2 has recently released, and we're very excited about it. Because it's been a while, we don't remember everything that happened in Chapter 1.
Remember it being really depressing.
Yes, I remember that too. I remember, when the game first came out, it was like, ooh, Marshfield, it's gonna be so
Yeah.
fluffy and sweet, look how cute the art style is. And then we played the game, and it was like, oh, this,
my
this
feels.
is bleak. This is so many feelings. So very good game. Very emotionally rough game. And I did, to make sure that we were at the right point with our saves, which I'm pretty sure I've got us at. I had to check through the end of our previous stream, and it looks like there was a cliffhanger end to Chapter 1 where basically Warren has just told us, to Kate went back to the dorms, and Max is like, but wait, I was just at the dorms. Oh god, I've got to go save Kate. So presumably she's on the roof.
Yeah.
I forget why. I think Max was trying to put the brakes on their friendship for some reason, and Kate took it really hard. Understandably. Isaac says, I had to go to work on Monday morning. Oof. And getting out of the parking lot at noon, my time, was a snowy hell. I'm sorry you had to do that. That's awful. That is something that I am a part-timer and a remote worker, and I do not miss having to drive to work in the snow. That was, it sucks that I don't make as much money as when I worked full-time and, had to go places, but driving to work or from work in the snow was always a nightmare. Little Bear, get off the stove, sweetie. Gonna be a lot of that tonight.
Yep.
He has been a pain. All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
As we're gonna be. So obviously, spoilers will abound. And hey, Gentleman Jane.
Yay!
Spoilers will abound for probably all Life is Strange games, but definitely Life is Strange 1. And presumably for Chapter 1 of this one, as we remember them.
And I think you said before you used our last stream to match up.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure
we
are where we were. Yeah.
Cool.
So we're on our way to go save a Kate.
Could you get Little Bear out of the
fuck's
sink?
sakes, Little Bear. Yeah, so gonna be an intense, emotionally intense stream, interrupted by cat chaos.
Yeah. Well, presumably,
Shipwreck's promise.
presumably that is what people are here for.
Okay, baby, you're going into your room, sweetie.
Yeah, surely he cannot cause any problems there. Do you want to give that power cord a spritz with the bitter spray?
Oh, right, because he was chewing on that earlier.
Yeah.
Or not chewing, he was pawing at it earlier.
Yeah, well, touching is the precursor to chewing. I mean, that's how dinner time at our house goes anyway. Yeah, so glad folks can join us. Cat chaos. They're so cute, though. Oh, Gideon wants to be contained as well.
She also wants.
Yeah, she's at the door. They're such good kittens. Even when they're being naughty, they're very lovable. Speaking of cat chaos, they went behind the dryer last night.
Oh no, Gideon just wanted to stick her face in the door.
Yeah, and
Are you telling the story of last night?
yeah. So Gideon, we call it going down the well. Gideon did it as a kitten, and it was very traumatic to get her back out. And then they both went down last night. They got through our cardboard barrier. And
Oh, good. She's in her carrier. Like a sweetheart.
Ghost had the brilliant idea to try and just reach in and
Brilliant idea.
reach in and pull Gideon out, and
More to like catch her because she was jumping and not quite making it onto the shelf. I was like, I'll just slip my hands under her armpits and heft her out. But I did not account for gravity or claws. So I did not quite manage to get it under her armpits. I managed to get her feet, which have claws, which stuck right into my skin and then had 12 pounds of cat dragging down on the points of her needle claws. Anyway, saving Kate.
yes,
Let's rescue Kate.
eventually, I guess we'll have to figure out voices as we go.
I think we did last time too. There was a lot of switching back and forth.
It's a lot of reading.
It is.
Eventually, I reached the outside of the dorm rooms while panting for air. Where was Kate? There wasn't a crowd around the building, so Kate wasn't on the roof yet, right? I had to hurry. There was still a chance.
Okay. Kate Marsh Protection Squad.
Once in the dormitory hall, I quickly peek into her room. Nothing. I turned around to face the stairs, going up fast enough for me to almost trip. I kept going up the stairs until I reached the second to last couple of steps. In a rather bizarre scene, I saw Kate peacefully going up towards the roof right in front of me, as if nothing had happened to her. I followed her towards the roof quickly, Kate turning around as soon as she heard my steps. Oh.
Max, what are you doing here?
I looked at her with a blank expression. The feeling of elation upon seeing her is enough to make me cry by itself. My vision gets blurry as my eyes start to water. Is this a no powers or no powers anymore?
It might be a no powers anymore.
Yeah. She was alive. Even if her mostly expressionless face would try to show something else. I could see her, touch her. I could even hear her voice. I tried to say something, but the knot in my throat wasn't letting me do so. Kate seems really calm, almost too calm considering just what she was about to do.
Why are you crying, Max? Did something happen?
Her tone remained ever so endearing as she got closer to me, her hand reaching towards my face while wiping my tears away in an attempt to calm me down. I think Max is a projectile crier. How could she act so caring for others when she was about to end her own life?
You assume.
Yeah. I looked up to her after she was done, trying to keep the visual contact between us as much as possible. What are you doing up here, Kate? I've been searching for you everywhere. I thought you had... Kate quickly answered.
I just came over here to get some fresh air. I've been exhausted the last few days.
Kate's voice became shaky, her eyes slightly watering as her gaze turned to look at the floor instead of me.
Leave me alone, Max. There's nothing left to talk about. Not anymore.
A soft sigh followed after, her feelings of disappointment being communicated clearly without the need for other words, leaving me without a clear response. Kate waited for a couple of seconds. The melancholic look in her eyes made my heart ache the moment that her eyes locked onto mine. She had given up hope, not only in herself, but in me too. But I couldn't let things end with just this. I could no longer be a coward and run away from her in a pathetic attempt to fix things. Kate turned around soon after, taking a couple of steps away from me and towards the border of the roof. I clenched my fists in frustration and followed behind her, grabbing her right hand with my own. This immediately got Kate to look at me, my eyes staring deeply into hers before speaking with a stern tone towards her. I saw your room, Kate. I could remember it vividly. That dark, depressing, and gloomy aura that the room had was enough to feel more than unnerving to be in, let alone live in. My right hand held tightly onto Kate's, my thumb shyly caressing the top of her hand as I kept talking.
Yay.
I saw your diary, too. Sorry about that.
You goddamn snoop!
What do all of those nooses mean? Why did you write waste all over the place? Kate, you're going to end it, aren't you? I couldn't bring myself to say it directly, but Kate's distraught expression shows that my message, at the very least, made it to her. I took another step towards Kate, my voice being barely louder than a whisper. Kate, please let me help you. I haven't been the best friend. I don't even deserve to be called that, but we can do this together. After yesterday, I just want to go back to the time in which things were okay.
Were there any? Why, Max?
It took me a couple of seconds, but I was able to notice Kate's tears start to roll down her cheeks.
You keep playing with my heart, Max.
Kate's voice became louder and desperate as her hand let go of mine. She was rightfully angry, and all of that frustration was starting to come out all at once.
You push me away just to drag me back in with your sweet words. You keep promising stuff to me like you did back then, telling me that we'll always be together. I can't go through it all again, Max. Not anymore.
She was right. I couldn't deny that what I was doing was wrong. I had played with her for the last few days, and it made me feel guilty. But right now, this was the only thing I could do for her. I'm so sorry, Kate, but you have to stay here with me. This is not how it's supposed to end for you.
Then how is it supposed to end? Should I just stay as a slut in everyone's mind? Stay here in Blackwell without any friends and a family that hates my guts now? Even you left me, Max.
It's not true, Kate. You have your friends from Bible study, and I doubt your family hates you. And you have me, too. Kate, I really just...
What about your promise, then? From the beginning, when you started drinking tea with me, talking to me after class, inviting me to your room, you even promised we would never leave each other, that you would always stay with me. And even then, you left me.
She looked at me, her anger and sadness clashing in a turmoil of emotions that was reflected on her watery eyes.
What happened to all that? Did you really think it would be for the best?
Kate gave me a spiteful chuckle.
For the best of who, Max?
Her words caught me off guard, leaving me with no real answer to everything that she said. I wanted to tell her that we would be okay, that we would go back to the old days of drinking tea and eating together, but that would be another lie. The damage was already done, and I couldn't do anything to repair all of it, not anymore.
There's nothing else for me to look forward to, Max. we are supposed to part ways, aren't we? So as a last request, please, just...
Kate let out a conclusive sigh before she finished.
let me rest.
And without any other word, she turned around once again, completely ignoring my presence. If I couldn't convince her, everything would have been for nothing. I had lost everything once, and I couldn't lose it all again. I took another step towards Kate and raised my voice, thinking of the very last gamble that I would make. Kate! Kate stopped, completely the moment that she heard me call out to her, but without saying a single word. Now was the moment. Even if she didn't believe me, I still had to try something. Don't do this! Please, Kate! I used my arm to grab Kate's, forcing her to turn around and face me before she answered.
Why, Max? I want to end it already. You said you'd leave me, so why are you still here?
Kate exclaimed angrily before I shot right back at her the same way. Because I can't let you do this again!
Ooh.
Kate stopped talking. She took in some air in order to respond, but she stopped herself before even starting. I wondered if I was in her position, what would I have thought at that moment? Kate was against the wall, so I took the chance in order to calm down and speak in a softer voice. Kate, I can't let you go. Not if you're going to kill yourself. I kept looking directly at her deep blue eyes, trying to keep the distance between us as small as possible.
So, this dev team is a blue-eyed Kate. There seems to be some debate whether her eyes are, I think, blue or hazel.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess we don't get a good view of them in Life is Strange.
Oh, she is very heavy-lidded.
Yes. What do you mean by again?
I took a deep breath, my voice trembling slightly as I was forced to remember that day again.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh, flashback.
Oh. Stop. Don't come near me. Oh good, it was just a short flashback. Oh.
I saw it, Kate. Look, I know it's really hard to believe, but you need to trust in me. I saw you jump off this exact same building. There was even a crowd of people there. Kate chuckles skeptically. She almost seems offended by my words. And rightly so, I would think.
Yeah. It's like, What are you even saying? Are you delusional, Max? Are you playing with me?
I shook my head before she was even able to finish talking. I am not, Kate. I wouldn't lie to you. Not about this. I looked away for a couple of seconds, hesitating over my words. I even saw Chloe die in front of my eyes. I saw how Nathan, I felt my voice starting to tremble and my eyes water as I was confronted by all of those memories. The memories of the storm, the shock of finding out what had happened, not only to me, but to Rachel and even Kate. Just remembering waking up in that room, it was enough to reduce me to tears. Kate's animosity dies down as I mentioned being the witness of Chloe's death, an uncomfortable expression taking over her face as she realizes that this might not be just a joke. And I saw you too, Kate. I've been to so many futures. So many people died. So many people didn't, but you... I couldn't save you, Kate. Please don't let me do it this time. So please let me do it this time.
Scratch that. Please let me save you this time.
Yeah. Kate looked overwhelmed. She seemed to really want to say something, but couldn't bring herself to do so. I've been the worst to you the last few days, but I don't want to give up on you. Not anymore, Kate. I tried to get rid of you, Kate. because I was scared of losing you again. I couldn't forget the feeling of seeing you jump, knowing that I couldn't save you, that I broke my promise to be there for you. I took a second to clear my throat, trying to avoid choking up as much as I could. If I were to lose you once more, if you were to jump off, what would it become of me? The slow buildup of my tears made my voice much more weak, but the things I said were true. If Kate left me, if Kate went away because of what I did, I brought my hands towards Kate's, holding them and caressing them softly as I spoke to help me calm down.
I'll give you the one that doesn't have cuts all over it.
Oh, thank you. I need you, Kate. I'll be strong for you. I won't run away from you. I know this is really hard, but I promise I'll explain all of it soon. Just give me a second chance, Kate. I'll make things right.
Max.
Kate gave me a nervous chuckle as a last-ditch effort to compose herself.
Why are you like this?
I could start to see her tears slowly sliding down her face, her hands shaking slightly as she spoke with a trembling voice.
I can't stop thinking about you, Max. You haven't left my mind since I met you. Your nice words, the time that you've spent listening to my music, the way that you always make time to talk to me. Why can't I stop this feeling, Max? Why do you make me feel so terrible when I see your suffering? You confuse my heart so much, and when I think of you...
She held my hands tightly as she spoke, her hands sometimes letting go of mine to try and wipe off her tears. This was really taking a toll on her. Her family, her feelings and surroundings. She didn't deserve this. Not one bit.
Why can't I push you away? Every time I want to do it, every single time I try, I just can't bring myself to do so. Because I can't live without you, Max. I could never do so.
I brought up my right hand to her face, gently brushing her tears away with my thumb, an action that Kate didn't seem to mind. That's good.
Just don't poke me in the eyes.
Yeah, it seems pretty dangerous.
It does. And I was ready this time. Ready to leave you behind after what you said yesterday. I was so determined, and yet you still came after me.
Kate said with a confused tone, taking a second to breathe. Her eyes then looked directly at mine before she asked her question.
Why, Max?
Because... I looked right back at Kate with my hands tightly holding onto hers.
Let me know if I'm hurting your hand.
A wave of determination coming over me. Because I want to see you happy, Kate. I won't give up until you are, Kate. This time. I'll protect you this time, Kate. Kate slowly moved closer to me, falling into my arms as she hugged my sides tightly. It was a bittersweet hug, one that I didn't hesitate over before answering right back with one of my own. My right hand caressed the back of her head with her chin resting on my shoulder.
Will you?
It takes her a couple of moments to speak, her hands squeezing me almost to the point that it made it hard to breathe.
Will you stay with me, Max?
I didn't doubt for a second before answering. I will, Kate. I'll always be here. I'll do things right. I'll make things make sense.
Oh, good luck with that.
So, please, just don't give up, Kate.
Oh.
Kate didn't answer my question, but she didn't need to do so. The way that she held on to me was all I needed to know what her answer was. And there we stood, hugging each other, time frozen in a bittersweet moment.
But not literally, right?
Yeah, I don't think literally.
Okay.
The warm feeling of the
You never know
sunlight
when life is
washing
strange.
over both of us. The sound of the chirping birds that I found annoying not so long ago. The soft feeling of Kate's clothes against my hands. It all felt alive.
What fabric softener do you use?
I bet Kate uses a great fabric
I bet
softener.
she does. Okay, sorry. Just so much intense hand holding.
Kate was right here next to me. The feeling of her arms wrapping around me being enough to overwhelm me with joy.
Whew.
I closed my eyes and took in a deep breath, holding Kate as close to me as I could, wishing that the moment could last forever. Maybe a different moment should last forever.
Right. You want me to take over Max for a minute? Okay.
Oh.
Gentleman Jane says, Kate, am I gay?
Yes.
It had been a while since I had been able to listen to a class lesson without feeling like it went in one ear and left right out the other. It was more than enough to have to listen to stuff I didn't care about, but with Kate gone... She was in the hospital, and even if I had been the one to convince her to go and take her time, I couldn't bring myself to go and pay her a visit.
Oh, come on,
Max! Max, come on. You just promised not to leave her, and now you're going to leave her in the hospital?
Technically, Kate left.
Damn. That's cold.
Right. That's some bullshit, Max.
I acted so confidently back then. I told her things would be all right, that I would make everything right. But here I was, sitting in the middle of a math class I didn't give a shit about and thinking about how useless it all was. I looked around as the bell rang, everyone immediately getting up and barging out the door while the teacher was easily ignored. I rested my head on my arms, thinking of what my next move would be. Maybe trying time traveling again wouldn't be that bad.
Max?
I quickly raised my head as I heard my name. Yeah?
Are you feeling well? Is there anything wrong?
I rolled my eyes. This again?
Clearly you're...
Sidewalk plow? But there's no sidewalk.
I guess
It
it's...
looks like a tiny plow, though.
Yeah, I guess it's clearing the edge of the road.
I guess so. Anyway. I'm okay, really. Every teacher now seems to ask the same thing over and over. Oh. Right. The teacher chuckled, pushing their glasses up as they spoke.
I want to make sure, Miss Caulfield, there have been some rumors about Kate. I'm sure you've heard them. Just be careful out there, all right?
Fuck you. Kate's frustrated attempt to kill herself was a rumor that spread quickly once people found out about her room. Teachers said that she had gone back home because of family issues, but in a town as small as Arcadia Bay, one couldn't expect for such a thing to be kept a secret. Everyone seemed to be... well, it was hard to explain. Alyssa, Warren, and Dana were hit strongly by the news. Victoria didn't seem to be hanging out with her usual clique, at least not as often, so things were pretty quiet on that front. I took a deep breath before answering. Even talking was draining at this point. I'm fine, really. I'm just exhausted. Didn't sleep too much last night, you know? My sleep schedule's a mess.
Sounds like you know what to fix then, Miss Caulfield.
They chuckled, and once they were done, they headed towards the exit of the classroom.
Oh, and please don't go to the rooftops. They might be fenced now, but you'll get in big trouble for that. Just a small precaution.
Damn. Yeah, I won't. And with that, they left the room. Just thinking about what happened on that rooftop made me feel... honestly, I didn't know how to feel anymore. I'd managed to save Kate for now, but there was absolutely no guarantee that it wasn't going to happen again if I didn't act carefully. Max, there's been some rumors about your mom. Yeah. She believed my story, and even if she didn't, she at least gave me the benefit of the doubt. How was I supposed to explain that I had the power to change the future and travel through pictures? Just thinking about it made me sound really stupid.
Is it still the future? Is it, like, really the future, though? 'Cause she's rewinding things, but there has to be some timeline that keeps moving forward, right? Because Max is always in the present.
Max is always in the present, but is the rest of the world in the present?
Yes.
And is it the same present?
Maybe.
Anyway.
Yeah, what was that? Okay.
I looked outside the window of the empty classroom. The scenery around Blackwell was peaceful, the golden tint of the afternoon reflecting off the glistening droplets of water that remained from last night's rain. It was a pretty view, one that was definitely worthy of a picture. I almost jumped out of my seat as I felt my phone buzzing, my heart skipping a beat the second I noticed who was calling me. Kate.
Okay, let's take our bets. Is Max going to answer or ignore?
I hope she answers. You better fucking answer,
better
Max.
answer.
You got some splaining to do. Max. She hadn't called me before at all, so what could have changed? Had she noticed my obvious absence? Yes, of course she did. God damn, Max. She always thinks like nobody notices when she ghosts them. Everybody fucking notices when you ghost them, Max. Because for some reason everybody's in love with you.
There's a great like story there, like every time like Max signs up for like a newsletter or something, or like and then like never responds, and like the marketing person just sitting there going, Max.
Like all my emails from Nancy Pelosi.
I got your emails from Nancy Pelosi. Max,
I need you
now. Max, this is more important than ever.
Max, I know you're ignoring me.
Only you can stop this, Max. This, yeah, okay.
Yeah. If nobody is on Nancy Pelosi's mailing list, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you are on Nancy Pelosi's mailing list, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I held my phone tightly to my chest, trying to calm down before I picked up the call. What if she confronted me about the rooftop stuff? Was she going to be angry about me not visiting her? Was she going to scream at me?
She's just gonna cry, Max.
Oh, that's worse.
Yeah, it is.
I took another deep breath, realizing that not picking up the call was not a viable solution. Well, there's some character growth for you. I brought my phone up to my right ear, and even if I really wasn't ready to confront her again, I picked up the call. Hello? Kate?
Whoa, Max? I didn't think you'd pick up.
Kate chuckled as she spoke. She sounded right. The tone in her voice was peaceful and calm, something that made me smile immediately after hearing it. They've got her on those good drugs. Of course I'm going to answer. I was worried about you. Is everything okay? How are you feeling? Excuse me. I tried to avoid thinking of the obvious argument. Why didn't I check on her in person? Or on the phone, or text, or anything. I let out a sigh, trying to focus on Kate's voice rather than my self-conscious thoughts.
So, does it look kind of italic to you?
A little bit.
And maybe she is high. Well, the nurses here have been really nice. At first, they didn't let me have my phone and some other stuff, but I guess they thought it would be dangerous. But I just got it back today.
Kate acting this happy while being in the hospital was weird. Really weird, once I thought about it. I didn't know what kind of therapy she had been going through, or if she had been given any sort of medication. Regardless, it was still refreshing to hearing her like this, and compared to her zombie-like state. That's great, Kate. I'm really, really happy to hear that.
And well, I wanted to tell you something.
The snozzberries taste like snozzberries. I brought my right hand up to my hair, trying to play with it to calm my nerves. Wait, aren't we holding the phone with our right hand, too? Was this her way to get back at me? Making me feel this nervous with a single call? Max, you are paranoid, sweetie. Yeah? What is it?
I just wanted to say thank you, Max.
Aww. Hey! Chaotic Bakery, you're one of the devs, right?
If I recall.
Biscuit or something along those lines, maybe? But a little late, but I'm here. Welcome.
Yay.
Thank you for coming. I stayed quiet for a bit. It was rather hard for me to take any form of gratitude from Kate. What do you mean? I didn't.
Hey, don't say what I think you're going to say now.
I like your stone voice. Oh, nice. Yes. I am the writer, yes. It's nice to see you guys again.
Oh, thank you
It's
for
good to
joining
see you,
us.
too.
Thank you for writing this.
Yeah. Oh, it's
So many feels.
Yes, so many feels. Kate spoke with a sweet tone, one that doesn't quite get me in the mood to argue against her right now.
Really, Max? Will you just listen and take the compliment?
I brought my left hand to my seat. I'm assuming the chair. Because immediately I'm like, wait. Holding tightly onto it to try and follow her instructions. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Look, that day, I really wasn't okay. I wasn't thinking straight at all.
You never do.
Yeah.
My right hand went to my hair, nervously playing with it as she thanked me. Oh, Chaotic Bakery says, and thank you for playing it. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a bit longer than the last chapter. Haha. Nice. Exciting. It didn't feel right, but I couldn't say that it didn't feel nice, at the very least.
Well, now that I think about it, putting it that way is very simple, but it's true. I was in a dark place, and I couldn't help but feel lonely, even with everyone that was around me.
Kate's voice became a bit more quiet as she went on.
I needed someone to help me, and I'm thankful that it was you, Max. I didn't think that anyone would miss me now that I'm here. Even Victoria sent me a really nice letter the other day.
I was incredibly surprised by hearing that. Victoria? Being nice? It felt like some kind of fictitious scenario. Really? Victoria Chase? Like the Victoria Chase?
Yep, the one and only.
She chuckled.
She was really nice. She apologized for everything that she had done and even told me that she wanted to visit.
Ahem, Max, who has not visited.
Yeah. What do you think? Should I let her visit?
Visit you? Victoria? Kate. I thought about it for a bit. Victoria had put her through so much, and she knew exactly what she was doing while it all went down. She hosted the website for Kate's video. She scribbled on her slate every day and always bothered her during photography class. So why was Kate so happy? Why was she so forgiving? How do you do it, Kate? How can you forgive everyone? Kate took some time to think about her answer, but it didn't take her too long to come up with one.
I think that she deserves a second chance, Max. Everyone makes mistakes.
Sometimes really big mistakes.
Yeah.
Horrible, cruel mistakes, like putting your video online and refusing to take it down. Gentleman Jane says, "This isn't Chase Marsh, Kate." I feel like Max is also thinking that right now.
Mastermind Kate using Victoria to
get
force
Max jealous.
Yeah.
Kate, she put up your video, spread it all over the place to the point even people outside of Blackwell knew about it and bullied you alongside Nathan.
In case you forgot.
Right? Like, Kate, what the hell drugs do they have you on if you've forgotten this? Why would you forgive her so easily after she did all of this to you?
Because everyone deserves a second chance, Max.
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Kate answered immediately, like she knew her answer before I was even done with mine. Kate's soft and subdued tone made the already noticeable contrast between her peaceful way of being and my more impulsive side even more notorious.
She's willing to make things right again, even if she screwed up and almost made me disappear. She still wants to fix things.
I was gonna say, it's like, sound familiar, Max?
Just like you, Max. You want to make things right, don't you?
You could start by coming to visit, Max. I stayed quiet for a couple seconds. It was a fair comparison, even if I hated the idea. I almost let her die not once, but twice. How was I better than Victoria? I kept listening to her, not interrupting anything she had to say.
I believe that you'll make up for it, and I believe you'll do so too.
I admired Kate. She always found a way to look at the positive side. Maybe that's why I hated seeing her sad, even when it was just a little. I hated the idea of seeing someone as bright as Kate being all gloomy and depressed. I absolutely despised it. So it wasn't a surprise that I wasn't nearly as accepting of her suddenly apologizing to someone like Victoria. Kate knew I really didn't have an answer, so she moved the conversation forward.
I know it's hard, Max, but I really appreciate what you did for me. You showed me the way to a second chance, just when I thought everything was over. And even with some of the small bumps in the way, I'm still incredibly grateful to have you.
Thank you, Kate. Kate giggled in response. She didn't need to use any kind of words. Just her actions and a happy laugh was everything I needed in order to get my response. And then, right as I was calming down, she hit me with a curveball.
Hey, when are you gonna visit?
Kate, I gotta go. Kate's voice was a lot more serious compared to the rest of our conversation.
Tick-tock, Max.
Tick-tock, tick-tock, talk. She really wasn't going to let me off the hook this time, huh?
No.
No, and she shouldn't.
Do you not want to visit? I mean, you did promise to.
It's not that. Kate giggles in a contagious way, getting me a bit flustered. I let out a deep sigh, trying to get my thoughts in order. It's just been a bit rough. I haven't been sleeping well, and classes, they are still there. I'm just tired.
Can't you, see the hospital from
Right.
campus?
Pretty sure the bus goes straight there. I think the bus route is just Blackwell, Beach, Diner, Chloe's house, hospital. I think those are the only
That's
stops.
the loop.
Yeah. And then back to Blackwell. Maybe Junkyard?
Could be.
There's gotta be someplace close enough to the junkyard that,
Yeah.
Anyway. Go ahead.
Well, I'll be waiting. TikTok, Max. You still have to explain a lot, since apparently you have time-traveling powers like it's some sort of movie. So you better do some explaining, or I think we might have to switch places.
Are you threatening me with violence, Kate? Oh my
I
god.
will steal your identity, Max.
I will fucking
I'll
break
be a
your
better-
legs,
I'll be a
Max.
better Max than you ever were.
Isaac says, Max, I'm just out of time right now. Kate seemed a lot more into joking around with the
She's
idea of me
totally
being
high. Yeah.
some sort of time traveler, and it was admittedly a bit out of character, at least compared to the last few interactions we had. Arcadia Bay's size fits the narrative, says Gentleman Jane. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the guide to Arcadia Bay.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah,
Literally right behind us.
that is a good point.
Very dusty.
Yeah, I haven't had to do pushpins and strings for a while.
least not
Just
with-
like Sunnydale. Yeah, not for my Life is Strange pick. I've been doing more pushpins and strings for the Locked Tomb series. You okay, babe?
Yep. Smacked my hand into the door frame.
Ooh, that's no fun.
Don't walk through this door 15 times a day.
I smack my hand on pretty much every door jam I walk through every time. I promise it sounds really complicated, but I'll try to make it make sense. As much mysterious time-traveling teenager going through alternate timelines can make sense, anyway.
And don't forget, there's also the cemetery that the bus has to stop at.
Right, of course.
You're certainly not making it any easier for yourself, Max. Oh, and the lighthouse.
Yes. Well, the beach,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think I put
okay.
on there, and the lighthouse is up the hill, so I think you have to walk up there from the bus stop. I don't think this book is considered canon, though.
Probably not.
Nothing is considered canon.
Yeah. There is no canon.
Welcome to Life is Strange, where there is no canon and the points are all made
The
up.
canon is made up. Oh, here's a map. Okay.
I think that might be the map, like, more or less the map from the, like, out by the
Yeah.
lighthouse.
Okay.
It's not the most helpful map,
No.
and I don't know that it's to scale, and it also doesn't show the bus route. Kate snickered sarcastically before going back to her more friendly tone.
Oh, sorry. It's a deal then. I'll see you soon, Max.
The way she said that last word made it sound like she was saying goodbye, but Kate didn't hang up the phone.
You...
Kate mumbled quietly, interrupting the short-lived silence between us.
Did you want to tell me something, Max?
I sighed and let out a chuckle. Since when did you become a psychic? Kate was scary sometimes, but I guess that my lack of talking made her suspicious.
That's a secret. Just don't reveal those, you know.
Yeah, Kate's totally super high. I couldn't help but smile. Was this the new Kate? Because I was starting to like her a lot.
Oh, poor Kate.
You already liked the old Kate.
Yeah.
You know you already liked her. Look, Kate, I just wanted to say... Oh, I miss you or I'm sorry.
Ugh.
Oof.
Well, missing Kate is your own fault.
That is a
Max.
fair point. So I guess I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Okay. It took me a bit to get rid of the knot in my throat. It was hard to just get that simple pair of words out. I'm so sorry, Kate.
Oops. Sorry.
You accidentally
Yeah.
hit the
mouse
this-
wheel.
Yeah. Mouse wheel. I'm so sorry, Kate. I could already feel my voice getting weaker and weaker. The buildup of my tears made my face feel as warm as the bright daylight that flooded the empty classroom. I got everything wrong. I almost lost you. I made you feel lonely. I abandoned you. I took a moment to wipe my tears before they overwhelmed me. I couldn't help but feel like crying as soon as I thought of Kate's almost successful suicide attempt and what could have been of me and everyone else if things carried out that way. If I had been just a couple minutes late, everything would have ended right then and there. So just being able to hear her, at least one more time, made me feel both extremely happy and extremely guilty at the same time.
Max, it's okay. I'm here, and you're here too.
Well, not literally here, because you still haven't visited me. Hint, hint.
You didn't leave me when it mattered most, and you made a promise to me. Remember?
I chuckled softly as she told me that. Yeah, I did.
What did you promise?
I sighed as she asked me that question. That I would stay with you?
Exactly. And staying with me involves?
Kate. I let out a defeated sigh. It involves visiting you.
Exactly. So hey, you're going to pull through with it, right? I want to see you. We have a lot to talk about. Take your time, but don't forget about it, all right?
I nodded, even though she couldn't hear me, answering shortly afterwards.
Presumably if the phone is still up in her hair.
Just her helmet hair. Just. I mean, I guess she doesn't have the helmet hair anymore. She certainly doesn't in this.
Yeah.
Her hair has more movement in this than it did in the original game
Yeah.
before the remaster. I will. I'll send you a message when I go.
Sounds good. I'll be waiting.
Tick tock, Max. Yeah, thank you. Really, Kate, thank you for everything.
Thanks to you, Max.
I ended the call, smiling to myself once I did so. Her words definitely made me feel much better. If guilty as fuck.
All the other people in, like, the next period of math class just staring.
Right? Oh god, yeah, how long has she been sitting there for? Maybe it was the last class of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the last class. Or maybe there's lunchtime or something.
Yeah.
I took a couple of minutes to look outside the window, and somehow the afternoon sun felt brighter than
Aw.
ever. I stood up and hung my book bag over my shoulder, my left hand quickly feeling over it to see if my camera was still there. Was it? So shiny. Once I was done, I headed out of the classroom, and the first thing I saw was... She does not look pleased to see him.
Hey, Mad Max.
Oh my god. A wild Warren? The last thing I expected after talking to Kate was to get jump scared by Warren. Oh, such is life. Warren! You almost gave me a heart attack. What happened? Were you spying on me?
What? Of course not. If anything, Victoria might have been spying on you. She was peeking into the classroom just a couple minutes ago.
I looked at him with a confused gaze. Thank you for hearing.
Gay.
Thank you for hearing how I pronounced gaze. But the look in his eyes doesn't show any kind of irony or intent to mess with me. Really? Huh.
She's got like a bug attached to the Kate's hospital room. That's why Victoria wanted to visit.
I brought my hand to the side of my head, slowly massaging it as I tried to figure out just what Victoria could want now. She'd already done enough damage to Kate. Was she looking for her next victim?
Max?
Warren's voice snaps my attention back to him, leaving my thoughts to rest on the back burner for the time being. Sorry, I kinda zoned out. What did you want to tell me?
Well, I was kind of worried about you. You haven't been answering my messages as of late, even more than usual.
It is canon. Look at the
Yeah.
timestamps on their text messages. Like, pre-game.
Yeah.
There are, like, days between his questions and her answers.
You just seem off.
Well, he wasn't lying about that, at least. I wanted to answer, but the loud atmosphere of the school halls didn't feel like the correct place in which to be talking about this topic. Would you mind going somewhere else? Just in general?
Just you, Warren.
Just you. Just not you and me. Just you. Just you leave. Would you mind going somewhere else? I don't think this is the place to be talking about this stuff.
Sure.
It's nice music. We headed out of the school building to a nearby bench. The outside of the school was much more empty. The air even had a fresh feeling that contrasted perfectly with the warm sun.
All right, better now?
Much better. So, what did you need? Is it about that? By which she means the film festival. The Planet of the Apes.
Oh.
Sorry, it was a bad joke. He looked to the ground, taking a deep breath, which answered my question.
Yeah, at first I didn't want to believe it. Like, it didn't make sense to me. But then, after giving it some thought, it really seems like it is true.
Warren, I looked at him with a worried look. It seemed that I wasn't the only one having a hard time after what had happened, was I?
Oh, right.
Sorry.
It's time to do my PT exercises.
Yep. Well, have a good night now.
Is it my fault? I thought she was just stressed, that she was having a bad time with her exams, and I just ignored it.
No, sweetie, it's so much more than that.
If I had been there, then maybe she would have felt better. Maybe she wouldn't have tried that.
I put my hand on, my shoulder. Slightly closer to Warren. I'm assuming his shoulder, though. Although it could, I mean, she does kind of
do that
She
thing.
does do that.
Yeah.
That, her little the Max Caulfield patented self-soothing
Yeah.
hand on my own shoulder move.
I do like how this brings Max's idle animations into... Yeah.
That is a nice touch.
Yeah.
I put my hand on my shoulder, getting slightly closer to Warren. It was not your fault at all, Warren. No one would have been able to see it coming. It took a couple seconds before I went on. I knew what I was saying wasn't entirely true, but I couldn't let Warren blame himself for my own mistakes. Don't blame yourself, really. You were always extremely nice to her, and I know that if you had known about how she was feeling, you would have definitely done something for her. You're not the kind to leave people behind, Warren.
No matter how much they want you to.
You were always so nice to her, and I know that if you had known, you would have definitely done something for her. You're not the kind to leave people behind, Warren. Warren looks back at me, chuckling softly at my comment.
You think so?
Of course I do. You're one of my best friends. Just friends, Warren. I know you enough to be able to tell you that, Warren.
Thank you, Max. Warren's hand moved over to the side of his pants, reaching into his pockets to pull something out. Sorry.
You can take over the narration if you want.
It was a small folded paper square. Warren hands it to me with a careful gesture, his eyes dejectedly looking at mine
right.
once he's given it to me.
Kate had given him a piece of paper before she went to the roof and told him not to open it.
When
That's
she told
right.
me not to open it until later, I didn't understand why she would do that. She told me that I would know when. That's a bit thick of you, Warren. I read it last night,
Oh.
and it was...
I don't think you were supposed to read it at all at this point, Warren.
I think you deserve to read it too. It might be a little hard, but I
should
think you
just
should.
given it back to Kate. I took the little square and put it into my right pocket, nodding to Warren as I did so. I mean, I think Max is going to read it though, because Max. Are you done playing with it, sweetie? Okay. Thank you, Warren. I really appreciate it. And hey, you should send a message to Kate. Don't tell her that you read the note, though. She's in the hospital, and, well, I think she would really appreciate a visit.
I'm not gonna go visit, but you should.
I'm glad I hadn't actually taken a sip yet.
Warren lights up at the thought, nodding as I told him about the proposal. I will definitely do so. Thank you, Max. I hope I didn't interrupt anything, but this really helps me a lot.
It's no problem, ma'am. Thank you for telling me.
It's been a really rough week, but I'm always here if you need me, Mad Max.
Even if you don't need me.
Always here.
Even if you don't want me to be here. I'm always here, Max.
I nodded at him. My words were not needed for him to understand how much I appreciated his support and just knowing that he'd be there for me.
There meaning everywhere.
Warren was sometimes an interesting guy, but moments like this made me happy to be able to count on him. And with that done, Warren walked back to the dorms with a cheerful step. Just talking to Warren made me think about how much I had been ignoring him and the rest of my friends. The week I had spent with Chloe had been so chaotic.
Oh, Chloe.
We had been to an underground bunker of some crazy rich family. We had been the witnesses of a massive tornado, and I saw Chloe die countless times. But just standing here felt even weirder than all of those. I had stuff to fix, and I couldn't leave Warren and the others behind. I had to make things right, and that didn't only mean Kate.
But it does also mean Kate.
You
Max.
should go visit Kate.
Go visit
right
Kate,
now.
Max. Like, just get on the bus, go to the hospital, go visit Kate right now.
However, I didn't have enough time to think about what was going on with Warren. Just hearing about how Victoria had been spying on me made me extremely suspicious of her.
She probably
Even
wants
slightly
to
angry
offer
at
to
the girl.
take you to the hospital to see Kate or something.
Victoria was known by everyone as the perfect girl. At the same time, everyone that wasn't in her little group would know her as the biggest biatch to ever step on this green earth. A very interesting dichotomy, I must say. Long before I had even known of her involvement with Kate, the Vortex Club, or Nathan, I already didn't like her, but knowing what she had done had only exacerbated the problem. And so, with the school halls not being able to offer anything of interest to me, I started to make my way towards my room. I like the room art.
Yeah. The art is really nice in this.
Back
just
in my
general.
room at square one. Ah, the dorm fan.
Yep. The old classic dorm fan.
Victoria was definitely not the kind to act directly over something like this. She would rather not get her hands dirty. She would probably send someone else or just do it online, so I pondered over it as I sat at my desk, the tip of my pen tacking against it while I tried to figure out what she might want.
I mean, she's literally across the hall, right? Like, just go over there and knock on her door.
What? Talk to somebody?
That's right, it is Max.
Maybe she should just sit in her room and brood about it for a while. Then wait till Victoria leaves.
Well, Victoria might not be in her room. So the real, Life is Strange Max would just go into Victoria's room and snoop about it.
Yeah, look for pieces of paper that might give her some clue.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm getting a headcanon that Max does that because her parents are the kind of parents that never want to talk about anything.
Ooh.
So in her home life, she has to snoop through things and look at her mom's texts or emails or whatever to figure out
she found out her mom was pregnant with her by checking her. She went back in time to before her own birth and found out about her conception by checking the pregnancy test in the trash. Her dad didn't find out about it until he found it in the trash.
Anyway.
Sorry. Just in a weird mood tonight.
Yeah, it's okay.
Alright, do you want to keep going with the narration, or do you want me to take over?
I need to get tissue.
Okay.
So...
we'll take over for now.
Yeah.
Did she see me as a potential target after Chloe's death? Or maybe after what had happened to Kate? I tried to protect her from Jefferson back at the Vortex Club party, and she seemed fairly understanding at that time. But things were different now. She wasn't the same Victoria that seemed worried about me during the party. Now she was she was Victoria, and that wasn't a good thing. I let out a frustrated sigh. My fingers massaging the bridge of my nose. Sorry, wrong part of my head. Trying to come up with a new plan of attack. Isaac says I'd be horrified. I stood up from my desk, moving towards the door with just my phone in my hand. The first step to fixing this future was to act upon it. Upon it myself, and not sit still. I was going to do something now. Start with going to visit Kate in the hospital? No.
What is Isaac horrified about?
I think with the pregnancy test.
Yeah, no, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I realized.
Before I headed towards Victoria's room, I couldn't help but notice something unusual outside of Kate's room. A single rose rested in front of the closed and taped off door. You think... Who do you think left the rose?
Victoria.
Chase Marsh confirmed.
Yeah.
The slate outside of her room had only her name and some hearts put on it. Was it something drawn by Dana? Perhaps Warren? I smiled to myself. It was a very welcome change, if oddly romantic. After a couple steps, I found myself right outside Victoria's room. I knocked a couple of times on the door with a solid couple of knocks. Victoria? Are you there? We need to talk. There was no answer. My knocking started to get louder. Anyway, where could she be? Kicking the door in was definitely not the move this time. and there was no way she would answer any texts that I sent her.
Hi, Gideon. Uh-oh,
Baby
we woke
girl.
Gideon up.
Oh no! Sorry about the knocking. It has awakened the beast. I groaned in frustration, heading outside of the dorms to try and find the girl. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's got Victoria's phone number, right? Like,
Yeah.
everybody somehow had everybody's phone number in the main game. Once outside, I noticed Victoria sitting on the small steps that lead toward the dorms in a familiar scene. Even that cashmere sweater. Well, that's convenient.
Yeah.
She turns around, and when she notices me, she immediately looks away toward the floor. I head down the stairs and stand right in front of Victoria, her eyes avoiding me at all cost. I cross my arms before speaking. Victoria, we need to talk. My tone was much more aggressive, but even then, Victoria didn't seem to care at all. I stepped closer towards her, putting my hands on her shoulders, which forced her to look at me. We're getting intensely gay now.
Yeah.
Her face had a guilty look
Chase
plastered all over
Marshfield.
it. Maximum victory. You know what you did to Kate, don't you? You know what happened to her. It's not like you to be up to date. It's not like you to not be up to date on every rumor that goes around Blackwell.
Been looking for you, Max.
I gave her an offended look. Even if she hadn't done anything inherently wrong to me, she always managed to get on my nerves. For what? To spy on me, to try to get some dirt?
Well, yes, but also no.
Victoria shook her head, letting out a sigh.
I wanted to talk to you, but I didn't know how to do it or where to find you. I guess you're doing me a favor now.
She chuckled softly. Victoria's passive disposition was almost unsettling after everything I had seen from her. I backed out, letting go of her shoulders with a confused expression. Oh no, she activated her inner sub. Talk? What did you need?
Look, Max, I don't expect you to listen to me, but I really want to talk to you right now.
She finally looked up at me. She didn't give me the feeling that she was pulling my leg. Was this really Victoria? Was this an alien passing off for a human? Quick, check her belly button, Max. Well, Victoria stood up, trying her best to keep eye contact with me.
I promise it's not a trick. Well, saying it like that sounds like it is, but I just want to talk. We can go to the cafeteria if you want. I'll even buy you something.
It took me a couple moments. The idea of a Victoria Chase that didn't hate me seemed to me like an alien concept. I nodded after a couple of moments of thinking. Okay. I didn't say anything else. Victoria nodded in agreement shortly afterwards.
Cool. I'll lead the way, then.
Oh, he's got a nice smile. Victoria then
sorry.
started... Oh my god, baby.
Okay, sorry.
Victoria then started walking away at a slow pace, making enough space for me to walk alongside her. Ooh, walk with her. Don't walk behind her. I looked at the ground nervously. Was it really okay to walk alongside someone like her? What she did to Kate was unforgivable, and just thinking about it made me incredibly angry. But she had shown me a bit of her better side, even if there was not much to talk about on that aspect. I guess she was at least trying, at least according to what she said earlier. I swallowed my pride and took her up on her quiet offer, walking right towards her side. I could see Victoria give me a soft smile through the corner of my eye, even if I pretended not to notice it. Victoria stumbles through her words for a bit, as if trying to find the right thing to say to bring up a conversation topic.
So, the contest got pushed back.
Victoria said with a gentle voice, her eyes wandering off toward the nearby buildings. I didn't answer for a moment. The decision between doing so or not was almost as hard as walking with her. However, I was in too deep to back down now. Wait, really? Why did it get pushed back? The contest had already been pushed back thanks to Jefferson's arrest, and now a second time? Victoria looks thankful about my inquiring over the topic, turning around to see me as she spoke.
Yeah, even if the teacher say otherwise, everyone already knows about that.
She thought about the rest of her sentence before continuing. Was she trying not to be insensitive? That was new.
So, they decided right now it wouldn't be the best time to go through with it. But hey, at least it gives us some more time to think about our submissions.
She gave me a gentle smile, genuinely trying to strike a bit of small talk with me. This almost seems straight out of a fanfic. Well played there.
Yeah.
I answered back with a weak chuckle, still somewhat wary of her and her antics.
Max writes real-life fanfiction of herself and her friends.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god.
Just, like, loosely veiled, like, Smictoria state.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Tori, what's a synonym for chase?
Tory Hunt or something.
Yeah, there you go. Oh no, but isn't
Terry Hunt.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Tori Hunter is a Jerry Hill character.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the protagonist for Hunter's Way. But yeah, Vicky Hunt.
Vicky Hunt.
Vicky Hunt. Katie Swamp.
And Swamp Scott.
Kitty
Wetwoods.
Kitty Wetwoods. Oh god. Rabbit.
Rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole.
What's
Warren's last name?
Graham.
Rabbit hole cracker.
Rabbit hole Ritz.
Oh my god. I'm so glad you got where I was going with rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Chloe. I don't know what to do with Chloe.
What did they call the hot doctors in Grey's Anatomy? Is it McSteamy and McDreamy?
Yeah.
So she'd probably give her some sort of thing like that.
Blue cost.
Blue money.
Blue money.
Oh my god. Rancho Ambler.
Well,
River. What's another term for Scott? Scotch. River Scotch.
Rivergale.
Anyway, I
Yeah.
answered her back with a weak chuckle, still somewhat wary of her and her antics. Victoria reminded me as an out-of-touch uncle, trying her genuine best, but still coming off as awkward.
Kiddo.
Have you thought of your submission yet? I've written about it extensively in my real-life fanfiction. Oh, God.
Vicky Hunt and
I'm so sorry. Oh, God.
You're right. Yeah.
Oh, God. It is a very good and serious game, and I'm so sorry we're just being total assholes.
Not really. I had a bunch of shots of teachers and students, generic landscapes, and some more experimental pictures. However, nothing seems to be hitting me as the one as of late.
Oh, I wish Mia were here.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh. Really? I would have thought you already submitted your picture by now. She looked towards the floor, fidgeting with her hands.
That's what everyone says. Nowadays, it's definitely not as easy with everything that's happened.
Both the funeral and Kate's suicide attempt had definitely taken a toll on everyone, but seeing Victoria, the prodigy of photography, be so shaken by it was off-putting. It's okay. You don't have to force it, you know? You'll eventually get the shot, you always do. I said, while trying not to be too hostile. Victoria was acting different for sure, and at least for the time being she wasn't acting like, well, a bitch. She takes the gentle answer with a slightly surprised expression, like she couldn't believe what just took place, but that changed shortly after. Victoria smiled softly to herself, nodding shortly after.
Thanks, Max.
Sorry for all the burping, too.
Yeah.
That's, I don't even know.
I've had a lot of chickpeas.
I have not, so I've got no excuse. Our small chat ended as soon as we entered the cafeteria.
Is it like yawning?
Burping is contagious.
Also, if you have ideas about what Max's real person fan fiction aliases for all of her companions would be, pop them in the chat.
Absolutely.
We'd love to know.
Yes. Once inside our destination, Victoria led me to a somewhat secluded table.
Here, I'll be right back. Anything you might want? Don't worry about the price. It's on me.
Oh, don't say that word right
Yeah.
now, Victoria. Oh, it's too soon. It's always going to be too soon. I'll take whatever you're taking. Thank you.
Victoria nods and then goes to buy our stuff.
Oh, right. I was supposed to be doing the narration. Do you want to take a turn with that? Or?
Yeah, no, I'll take over.
Sure.
I laid my head over my arms, my right hand tracing shapes on the table while waiting for her to come back. Victoria was acting nice. Almost too nice. Was I so used to being mistreated by her that now I took it as a hostile thing? Maybe she was about to poison me?
Max.
No, this is what I wanted. I wanted to talk to her, and she wanted to talk to me, so this is the best case scenario. I couldn't back out now. I went through scenarios in my head of how things got to this point up until I felt someone putting something down on the table. I directed my gaze upwards and then saw Victoria with 2 big cups of what seemed to be coffee. The condensation on the outside made me think it was some sort of iced coffee. Once I grabbed it, I noticed some black balls on the bottom.
She got her some boba.
I don't really know what kind of food or drinks you like, so I brought you my favorite iced tea bubble tea. Kind of a mouthful, isn't it? Victoria chuckled to herself. Oh, sorry. Do you like coffee? I promise, it's really, really good. I know folks really don't like it, so tell me if you want something else. I couldn't help but smile softly in answer to her odd enthusiasm. Victoria handed me a rather big straw.
Of course, the anime nerd girl drinks boba tea.
The top of the cup was covered by a layer of plastic, which I then stabbed with my straw, while hoping not to make a mess by doing so.
Gentleman Jane says, I think Max is absolutely the kind of little shit who would use an acquaintance's real name.
Oh.
Ooh. All this fanfic by, was it Noir Angel something something, her internet handle?
Oh, right.
Her canon internet handle.
After taking a sip, I nodded to myself with a satisfied expression. I could hate Victoria as much as I wanted to, but I couldn't call her taste bad, that's for sure.
Warren, stop posting Omega in my name. Oh, please. He does it himself, too.
It's not het,
Oh, no,
though.
he would have... he casts himself as an alpha. I think he says some weird shit about that.
Alphas and
I
stuff.
feel like a total alpha now. After he kicks Nathan's ass. Normal things to say. This is pretty damn good. Is it expensive? Really, I can pay you back. You don't have to force yourself to...
Yeah, Max judging Victoria for posting the Kate video, but really, she's been posting, like, Blackwell, real person, real name fan fiction on AO3.
Oh, God. Are you still doing the narration, or is it back to me now?
I can still do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Victoria shook her head, her hands dismissing my words with a relaxed wave. It's not much, really. It's the least I can do for you. You know, I've been horrible to you. And not only to you.
Yeah.
Victoria let out a deep sigh and shot a dejected look towards the floor.
You told me you wanted to tell me something, right? I doubt you brought me here just to buy me some fancy tea.
Well, both. To be perfectly honest, Max, I wanted to apologize.
Sorry.
Lifting my head from my cup, I look into Victoria's eyes, a gesture that she couldn't quite reciprocate.
She's dreamy. Oh no, she's hot.
I didn't interrupt her. Did she have a change of heart? It reminded me a lot about that week's final days. I've been such a bitch to you, Max. You know, when I looked at you, I felt jealous, Max.
Gentleman Jane says, Max, you were going to see Kate like 3 hours ago.
I looked up at her with a surprised
Victoria's
gaze.
fault. A surprised gaze. Jealous? Of what?
She rested her elbow on top of the table, her hand on her palm as she looked off into the bright park of the campus. I could tell it was hard for her to admit to such things. I couldn't imagine being in her position. You always seem to just not worry about others. Wow, that's some real, like,
you cannot read
ducks
people.
swimming on, looking smooth on the surface of the pond stuff there.
You're just seeing my autistic masking.
Yeah. You took your selfies in class like it was nothing. Hung your pictures on your walls and hung
do
out
you
with
know what's on
anyone
my
just
wall?
because you liked them. Yeah. I wanted to be like you, Max. I wanted to be
Aw.
free. I guess that's why I was always such a bitch.
In other words, it's your fault, Max.
I kept listening to her, finding it surprising that someone like Victoria found anything to be jealous of in me. Just how long had she felt like this? Generic, isn't it? Victoria let out a sarcastic chuckle and then a sigh. But you have talent and you're just you, Max. It's amazing. You and everyone around you, they're all so free, just being themselves.
Oh, it's just called forgetting to put your bra on. Totally counts.
Kate always seems so passionate, so dedicated to being herself. Even if everyone called her Bible group lame, and by everyone I mean me.
Right, I was
Or
gonna
her abstinence
say.
thingy stupid. She
Also me.
still kept going. And Warren, he watches all those weird movies and talks about them without worrying what others might think. And
I wish I could do with my anime.
She spoke with a clear intention to sound remorseful, but I wanted more than just that. I couldn't quite buy the story just like that.
So you harassed me because of that? You're even hosting her video online, aren't you?
I was. Not anymore.
Sorry.
I moved my chair towards the table. I took the page down after I saw Kate's room. I couldn't possibly keep doing it, not after that.
Did you go into her room? How? And why?
I've been trying to get in there for ages.
You guys seemed really invested into this whole thing. She would get so many terrible messages every single...
I know that. I did, and I know what the others did because I did it too. She let out a sigh. I took it as my cue to shut up and listen. That day, when you broke into Kate's room, you looked so terrified. Oh, sorry. Like, you had just seen someone die in front of your very eyes. But it was because of Kate. After you left, I looked inside her room and... Victoria hugged herself, shielding herself from the memory. I saw all of it. The ink on the walls, the messages on her email. I even read her diary.
Damn, Victoria, you're as bad as
It was all
I
because of
am.
me, wasn't it?
I mean,
Okay, everybody, raise
You
your
and
hand
Nathan.
if you have not read Kate's diary.
no hands go up.
She looked at me. Was I supposed to answer? I had to fight the urge to scream yes at the top of my lungs, but it felt wrong to put all of the blame on her, especially after what I did myself.
You did
Wasn't
a
I greatly,
lot of it, Victoria.
wasn't I greatly at fault too? Wasn't I the last nail in Kate's coffin? I could feel the knot in my throat, making me unable to answer at all. I didn't answer. Victoria kept on looking at the floor. I felt so guilty when I saw all of it. The nooses, the pages, seeing how every day she got more and more depressed. That's why I wanted to apologize to her. I knew what I was doing was wrong, and the fact that I still kept going makes me the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Listening to her made me feel weird. I could not explain the feelings pent up within my heart as she told me all about that. Did she really feel it? Was this a setup?
Don't be so fucking paranoid, Max.
It couldn't be. She seemed genuinely remorseful. A side of Victoria that I had never seen. Did she deserve a second chance? Kate thinks so, Max.
Mm-hmm.
I took a sip of my drink. Victoria didn't stop talking.
Now I want boba.
I've never had boba.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just the
It's interesting.
I feel like I don't like. I feel like I wouldn't like the texture. Do you just do you chew on them to pop them?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, everybody's different, but yeah, I didn't think I would like stuff in drinks, and then I
Yeah.
started drinking those the aloe vera things that have
Oh.
chunks of it in it.
Oh.
It's so fucking good. Oh, I miss those. I haven't had those since I graduated.
Yeah.
So good. It's like food and drink at the same time. Just have to be prepared for it.
I sent a card to the hospital. I tried my best to tell the girls to stop sending her emails too. Some of them listened, but not all of them. But I'm trying my best to stop it. She took a deep breath before her eyes went back to meet mine. Max, do you think she'll forgive me? I know I've done some horrible stuff, but I want to at least get her to listen to me. I want to tell her that I'm sorry. Her look was almost enough to make me feel guilty. She seemed genuinely remorseful for what she did. Was this the real Victoria? Victoria was genuinely trying her best, trying to make things up to me with her small talk and trying to reach out to Kate. Maybe she did deserve a second chance. I put my drink aside before I spoke.
Kate called me this morning. She did get your card.
Really? What did she say?
She really appreciated it. She's positive, almost too positive now. I asked her why she wanted to forgive you so easily, how she could still treat you so nicely after everything. She wants to give you a second chance, Victoria. Vic angling for Chase Marshfield, says Gentleman Jane. Could be.
Victoria looked at me in awe. She clearly didn't expect things to go smoothly. Really? I'm so happy to hear that. It looked like she couldn't believe it, looking blankly at the table with a big smile as if trying to process my words. Earlier today, I was trying to listen in on your call. Warren probably told you,
Damn,
didn't he?
Victoria.
Gave me some weird looks across the hall.
Usually he's the one spying on you. I stole
Yeah.
his spying spot.
Right. Victoria paused briefly to take a sip of her coffee. I know it wasn't the best look, so I don't blame you for thinking it was something else. I just wanted to see if she was okay, if she said something about me. But I saw you crying, Max. Her tone became much more troubled. Was she really concerned over my feelings? Victoria was being too transparent for this to be a plan to harass us. There was a bit of silence between the both of us. Victoria kept inquiring about the topic. I'm so sorry for what I did to you and Kate. When you asked me where Dana was, you looked so worried. It was scary, honestly. And after Chloe's death...
Get her name out of your mouth. No. I get it, Victoria. So, what are you trying to get to?
I said while trying to avoid the topic. I didn't want to listen too much about that day. Just the thought of it was enough to give me shivers.
Same.
Victoria nodded, going straight to the point this time. I want to make it all up to you, Max. Everything I did to you.
One boba tea at a time.
I physically recoiled back on my chair in surprise. Of all the things I expected to hear today, this definitely wasn't one of those.
What do you mean, make it all up? Victoria, you're acting really...
I know, Max. It seems really hard to believe, and I don't want to force you to accept my apology, nor do I expect Kate to do so. But please, if you let me, I want to try to get to know you better. Maybe we can go out and do stuff like this more often.
Write fanfic together.
I can help you with class notes or photography class if you need it too. And you need it, Max. I look away from Victoria, softly shaking my head from side to side. Was it really okay to say yes now? I know it's hard.
I like she's
really.
bluffing now.
It's very selfish of me to ask you to do this, but I want to show you that I want to make things better. We don't have to be best friends, but please, just give me a chance. In a way, one could say that I got much more than what I had bargained for, but I didn't want to accept it. What would Kate say? She was right. She had forgiven Victoria. And now she was here, attempting to redeem herself. Maybe I could learn something from her, couldn't I?
Fashion.
I had to fix the future, and Victoria was definitely part of that future, as much as I wanted to deny it. I let out a deep sigh, finally conceding to Victoria.
Fine.
Oh, wait. What did you say? I rolled my eyes. Did you have to make me say it again? Like, really?
Fine. I said it's fine, Victoria. Don't make me change my mind now.
I tried to put up a serious expression, but Victoria didn't seem to read it quite well. Vic, autistic, eh?
She could be. Yeah. She can't read expressions. She could just be face blind.
She could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Face blind Victoria.
Face blind Victoria?
I would read that fic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's just mean to everybody.
She recognizes everybody by their fashion.
Oh. That's why everybody always has to wear the same outfit all the time.
Oh.
That's why she hates Max, because she changes her t-shirt every day.
You would think she would love Max because she wears the same hoodie and jeans every day.
And the messenger bag.
And messenger bag, yeah. Yep.
She smiled brightly at me, leaning further towards me. Thank you, really. I hope we can get along. She extended her hand across the table, offering me her hand as if she was trying to get me to sign off on our new deal. I rolled my eyes, chuckling before I gave her my hand in agreement. She shook my hand, with a chuckle of her own.
So do you think she went, like, business, or do you think she went, like...
Kiss the ring?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's decided then. Really, thank you for listening to me, Max.
It's no problem. Thank you for not being a villain for once.
Don't thank me yet, Max.
Too soon to thank me for that.
Victoria smiled at my slightly spiteful joke. I'll try my best to not be one. But for now, you should finish your drink. If you let the ice melt, it's going to taste like water. I nodded, taking a sip of my drink. The rest of our afternoon was spent sharing meaningless but most welcome small talk, instead of going to visit Kate.
Just go together.
Go visit Kate.
Go visit Kate. God damn it.
Once the afternoon sun was starting to set down for the day, Victoria checked her phone, getting up from her seat as soon as she saw the time. Thank you for coming with me, Max. Really, this means more to me than you can think.
Wow.
Victoria waited for me to get up before we left the cafeteria. I felt pretty satisfied. Being able to hang out with her felt nice, even though I couldn't quite process it.
Mm-hmm. It's nothing, really. If anything, I never expected you to tell me all of this. I believe things will be fine now, Victoria.
I hope so. There's still a lot more I want to talk about. There's that whole thing with Jefferson, ideas for the contest, and maybe fashion. I'll definitely give you some tips, because you need them.
Frosted tips?
Oh my god.
Max with frosted tips?
Max, Arcadia Bay 90s boy band, AU.
There's your next pick.
Max with, because of
Your second pick.
Max with like a faux hawk with frosted
I
tips.
think I've drawn that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Chloe could keep the blue hair.
Yeah. Yeah, she's already got the 90s boy band heartthrob haircut.
Vic could keep that hair too.
Absolutely.
Who's the fourth and or fifth
I mean,
member?
Rachel.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah. She's the front man.
I mean,
Give her a bowl cut.
bowl cut. Rachel, there's your next pinup.
Well, my next pinup is Rachel Amber, but I did not give her a bowl cut.
I guess you can't do another Rachel so soon.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Anyway, sure. I'll be sure to take note of them.
Folks are still in the chat. 90s boy band AAU ideas.
I mean, Kate actually plays an instrument.
Yeah. Oh, did we say Kate?
No, we did not.
Okay, well, Kate's got to be in it.
Although, do 90s
Kate
boy
can be the
bands
nice-
play the instruments? I think it's usually just like, I don't know, pre-recorded backup music.
It's
And
true.
then just singing and dancing, or
But
lip
that's
syncing
what,
and dancing.
that's what makes them special.
Ooh,
They
that's
have
their
one
hook.
person who
They have one person who can
can play the violin.
Max can play the guitar, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh god, now I'm thinking other 90s genres. Max needs the big tortoiseshell glasses.
Oh my god.
Give her the full Lisa Loeb
Yeah.
look. With Kate playing sad violin in the background.
Yeah. 90s, like,
What is that genre called? Other
Like
than
girl
Lisa
band?
Loeb.
I mean, it's like, maybe like folk pop.
Chloe is Alanis Morissette.
Ooh.
Anyway. Do you want to do the narration, or do you want me to take over?
Well,
just wanna keep
I just-
talking boy bands, don't you?
I want to talk about like 90s music scene.
Ska?
AU.
Ska band.
Yeah.
Chloe would be all about being in a ska band. She'd be just
The
the dancing
dancing
guy.
guy.
Yep. She would be the dancing guy. Yep. Pork pie hat.
She's already got the
She's got the suspenders. Yep. Yep.
Vic and Rachel as like the leaders of rival ska bands, and like they're both trying to get Chloe to commit to being their exclusive dancing guy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah. And then like Warren wants to be a dancing guy too,
Ugh.
but just
No, Warren's a trumpet guy.
he wants to be the dancing guy, but he keeps getting the trumpet, man. So from trumpets for betas.
Oh god.
It's super gay to just be blowing this horn all night, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Warren it is. We made our way to the dorms. Once we were inside the halls, Victoria turns around to face me.
Oh, one last thing. I've had your number for a while now, but do you mind me sending you a couple messages from time to time. Like, to hang out and stuff.
We live literally across the hall from each other. Oh, sure. I don't mind.
Jane says this is a cursed AU. I don't know about that.
What of it?
I nodded at her. Victoria answered with a smile of her own. Thank you, Max. Have a good night, then. With that, she entered the room and closed the door behind her.
I heard theme music from an anime.
Wonder what old Max would think of me getting along with Victoria.
Which one?
Would she think it's a normie thing? Cringeworthy? I chuckle at myself just thinking about it.
Wow.
If it was a normie thing, then I wouldn't mind being called one by past Max.
Yeah, past Max sounds like kind of a dick.
It was relieving knowing that I didn't have to worry about Victoria anymore. Rather, I could think of her as a good friend. Friends, huh?
With benefits.
Fate really has some interesting tricks under its sleeve. The benefit being boba tea.
Yes.
Friends with boba tea.
Friends with bubble tea. Oh, God.
I turned to face Kate's room. The red rose now was accompanied by some white lilies. I smiled to myself.
Isn't that like a funeral flower?
Yeah, right? It's a little grim.
Yeah.
I smiled to myself. Well, I mean, it could be in different places. It means different things, too.
Could be like sympathy or something, maybe.
I smiled to myself. Maybe things were finally getting better. As I peeked into the dark room, I thought to myself that I needed to do something about it. If she came back from the hospital to such a terrible-looking place, that wouldn't be very
Doesn't
pretty,
it have
would
tape
it?
over it, though?
Is tape gonna stop Max?
I mean, it should. Like, if it's like crime scene, do not cross.
This is Max doing, like, productive procrastination of, like, giving
I
Kate's
can't
room...
go and visit Kate without giving her room a makeover and making friends with Victoria first.
Right. She's doing all the side quests before doing the main quest.
Yeah, it is a video game.
I was going to do my best
I
for
mean, think
Kate.
of how we played
the
regular
two of
Life
us.
is Strange.
Yeah.
Like, we do every possible, like, just explore everything before doing any of the story stuff. Oh.
Okay, so time check. It's 8:18.
Oh. Do we want to call it a night, or?
Yeah, I think, like, my voice is kind of scratchy.
Yeah, it is a lot of,
It's a lot of
reading.
We haven't done this much reading in a while.
You haven't done this much reading in a while. I did
You-
Validate yesterday.
And you've been read me Nona.
Most of Nona the Ninth.
Yeah.
You've read some of it.
I did, but you read the vast majority of
Yeah,
it.
so let's save.
Yeah, let's save this.
Okay.
And yeah, this is great so far.
Yeah. Definitely.
Thank you for joining us, and I hope that you're tolerating all of our shenanigans.
Oh, God. She has to level up before the final boss. Social activity.
God.
I know that feeling well. Oh, God. Yeah. Oof.
Oh, wow. It's really windy outside. Look at the lights.
Oh,
moving.
jeez. Yeah, our neighbor's Christmas lights are shimmying in the wind. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And, Biscuit, if you're still here, thank you so much for writing this game.
Yeah.
And for tolerating us playing it and reading it out loud. And, have a good night, everybody. We will be back next week. I will be playing on Wednesday at 3, I believe. More Validate, continuing Inaya's storyline. And then on Thursday at 6:30. Again, we will continue with Chapter 2 of Life is Strange Aftermath.
Woo.
Yeah, we'll see if Max actually gets her shit together to go visit Kate in the hospital. She fucking better. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I mean, would she have actually visited Kate in the hospital in Life is Strange 1 if Chloe hadn't driven her there?
No. Maybe. Maybe not. All right, folks. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.